Guys, you've joined us live on Moneycontrol. I'm Manisha Gupta and I'm talking about two commodities today. One which has done very well this week and the other which hasn't done well at all. I'll start with the crude oil prices first because that is of utmost importance. Last week we saw crude oil prices decline by 5.5%. This week has been a 4.5% of a decline. So in last 2 weeks we've seen nearly 11 to 12% of a cut coming in for the prices, and even now we are trading below $80 a barrel for both the crude varieties. It's a 4-week lows coming in for both the crude varieties as well. The only reason a bit of an uptick is seen for crude is after the Russia oil minister said that the global markets are well balanced and OPEC and allies, remember, are cutting output production by nearly 1.16 million barrels per day from the 1st of May, and that would continue until the end of December. So with that market out and with the Chinese demand not picking up as much, the US economic data also hasn't come in so well. The markets do look balanced as per the Russian oil minister there. This week in the US markets, we've seen the oil inventories decline by more than 5 million barrels, but that is because the refining has increased. Remember, this is also the start of the US summer season demand, and you would want more gasoline, more distillates in stock, and is the reason much crude is being taken from the inventory and gasoline and distillate inventories are being increased. The markets, all of these though, are following up on the US Fed meeting, which is on 2nd and 3rd of May, and then you have the ECB meeting, which is on 4th of May. Next week also brings you the Golden Week holiday for China, so they are going to be absent from the participation. So it's going to be less liquidity but higher exaggerated moves coming into the market is what the street is readying itself for. The dollar index trading at 101 plus kind of levels is putting pressure on prices as well. But as we have seen, the US GDP first quarter data numbers have come in on the weaker side. That's another thing that is putting some pressure on many of these industrial commodities. So a bit of a buying, yes, but clearly not a trend reversal from here. That's about crude, but sugar clearly on a rush, and we have seen prices gain up by 7% in this week. The raw sugar prices are trading at an 11-year highs, the white sugar prices trading at a 10-year highs, and the latest is that government perhaps may just about curb any more exports from the country. Last year was 11.2 million tons of export. This year, even as the government has allowed 6.1 million ton, there are various source-based stories coming in from international agencies suggesting that the Indian government is not comfortable with the current outlook of around 32.8 million tons, much less than 35.6 million tons that we saw in the previous year in sense of sugar production. So with lesser sugar production, government may not be very comfortable letting out any more sugar out of the country. So the understanding within the industry and the conversations that are going on is that whatever is lying perhaps on the port or is in transit may be exported. But remember, out of the 6 million ton of sugar that has been allowed to export, more than 5.8 or thereabout is already exported or in process. The last 1 or 2 lakh tons are in process of being exported. So even if that notification comes today or tomorrow, it will perhaps impact just about 1 lakh or 2 lakh tons of sugar. So it's going to be more sentimental than what you would see impact on ground coming in for this. So even as the sugar prices have gained up by 7% in a week, 25% in a month, 40% in last 12 months, we also have seen the sugar stocks perform like that too. So many of the sugar stocks in last 1 month itself have given you returns of around 15 to 20%, with the markets believing that we are looking at lower sugar crop in India, Thailand, Pakistan, China, and even if Brazil has better sugar output, they are allocating a lot of that for the ethanol. So whichever way that you look, from the ethanol point of view or the sugar angle, you are looking at more sweetness expected into this sector going forward.